afternoon and welcome to the round table. My name is Margaret Osazua, and today we will be speaking to three major topics. That is, the Port-Harcourt Refinery begins operations amidst Dangote Refinery fuel price reduction, the Yahaya Bello EFCC and the 16-count charge, and Tinubu to appoint ambassadors after trip to France. But before I delve even further, I would like to introduce you to my guests. So I'll start from my right-hand side. Hi, Mr. Daniel Ayontoye.
Oh, I love the way you called the name. You gave it another He's
always talking
I
about
hope my wife had told me not
this beautiful boy.
You're going to feel what I kind of a plain romantic boy. Thank you.
It's good to have you on set with me today.
Thank
and
you.
Mr. Dinkule Alim.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure to be here
the
again.
name well today.
Yes.
Once again, you guys are welcome to the round table. And quickly we move on to the first story. Now, oil marketers have outlined conditions for patronizing the refurbished Port-Harcourt refinery, emphasizing that its petrol prices must be more competitive than those of the Dangote refinery. Now, a quick background. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, manages the Port-Harcourt refinery and has not yet released official pricing yet. Now, a remote price of 1,045 naira per litre has been denied as bulk sales and the purchasing portal remain pending. Now, NNPC clarified that refined products are currently only available at its stations. Now, the National Publicity Secretary of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Chinedu Ukadike, confirmed that the state-owned oil company sells a litre of PMS at 1,040 or 1,045 naira, while the Dangote refinery just revealed its price from 990 naira to 970 naira for marketers buying a minimum of 2 million litres. Now, he however noted that there was the possibility that the NNPC would review its prices downward when the Port-Harcourt refinery comes fully on stream. I'm just going to stop there and quickly ask Mr. Daniel, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think, of course, that's a kind of a hope for Nigerians. If this is what we are going to have, of course, we know that there have been deliberations about the federal government's, the refineries that belong to the country, not the private ones this time around. If they become fully functional, then Nigerians will breathe a kind of a little life and hope and all that. So if these refineries are in function, we believe it will also force the private, personally, it will also force the private refineries to have a kind of a concession, bringing down their price of the product. Of course, you know what's the reason we are in this mess is the issue of having to have no monopoly. When there are issues like that, then you know there will be price issue. But again, we must also urge the federal government that they should not just stop at that. It should not just be the hope thing. That, okay, yes, Nigerians, we have hope. Oh, when our refinery comes, we have this. Then we get to that stage, we have a higher price. We should not have that. We should be true to our words, and because you know for sure when the Dangote refinery was coming up, a lot of Nigerians had that hope.
Yes.
That oh yes, we are going to have a refinery now in Nigeria. Yeah. Dangote refinery will solve a lot of issues and all that. But along the line, we began to hear some funny stories that no, you know, it's a private sector. It will want to make income, and the next issue is that the federal government does not want to give him crude, and then the naira for crude and all that. All those issues came up to spoil the whole story. That even the prices became more. So we want to have a situation whereby the federal government will give hope to Nigerians, and that hope will stay, and we have an actualization of that hope in the life of Nigerians.
Okay, so Ms. Aliyah, do you think the presence of these two major refineries impact Nigerians for import dependency?
Import dependency? Whoa. The thing we will first of all ask is, look, what is Dangote refinery for? Number one, Dangote is for business, and it's looking for markets within and outside Nigeria. Okay. So you cannot put Dangote refinery in the mix. If he likes, he's going to sell to Nigeria. He's going to sell to where benefits him most. Every entrepreneur is out there to maximize profit. So he's going to be looking for profit in all his dealing. So NNPC now, Now, remember, we have NMPCL.
Yeah.
So NMPCL is also now a private entity who should also be looking for profit for government. Government has washed its hand off the price of fuel. So now that we have the Port-Harcourt Refinery working, at least let's say maybe producing 60,000 barrels per day, if they complete their whatever, they will now be producing 210 barrels per day. But having said this, I think we should be looking at the market forces to determine the price of petroleum products in Nigeria. Whatever government can't do anything. I see that because if you try and reduce the price beyond production costs, so you are telling your private or individual businessmen that are producing refineries, producing fuel, that look, please take your fuel outside, and they will. So you want to have sufficient? Good. So the price must be competitive, must be within the range that everybody in the land will benefit. Government entrepreneurs will benefit, private entrepreneurs will benefit. So for me, I would say we will be import dependent. We won't import anymore. We'll be producing enough for us and for neighboring Africa.
I think that is where I have a kind of concern, really, when we continue to say government will not be able to do anything. The reason why the government is there is to do something. As far as I'm concerned, the government has the highest responsibility to ensure that its citizens are alive.
Yes.
And they are alive to the wellness of their life. What do I mean by that? You see, when we look at this issue of fuel and the issue of pricing and cost and all that, because whatsoever the government is expected to do, if they are not doing it right, then we have problem within even the markets. True. Which is a very big concern to me personally. Now, for instance, we saw the drama that we experienced with the increase in commodities and all that, and we are still saying that the government has to now say they wash their hand by privatizing NNPCL. No. They can't totally wash their hands of these things. We must always consider our situation as a country. We must always consider the environment as a country. We must always consider our people as a country before we begin to make decisions and make those decisions either to affect, make or mar the system. And one of those instances, I beg your pardon, is the fact that the food has increased in price. Yes. Every other commodities has increased in price. If the refineries comes on board and we have the reduction in fuel, every other thing will be affected. So I want to see the government like a family setting. You understand, where you have the father, you have the mother, and you have the children, and the children are dependent on their parents. Yeah. I want to see Nigerian situation in that regard, and we must also ensure that the government see it within that regard. What they are supposed to provide at the particular time that will lead to providing succor to Nigerians should be provided, so that Nigerians will not die of hunger.
The succor the government is providing now, saying, look, please, remember the statement the president said one time, said, he said that you pay the price or you do CNG. So you say alternatives are coming. So we need to be smarter. Look, so what are we going to do? Let's move to CNG. It's expensive to install the CNG, agreed. So what are the alternatives we need to do? We need to start creating this alternative. Let's have alternative for PMS. We don't have alternatives, that's why we're crying now. Now if there are alternatives, 2 or 3 alternatives, then you choose. So you choose for the lesser evil. Currently now, this is what I'm saying. That look, to expect anything less than 800, 700, 800, 900, I think it's going to be difficult. Because these refineries how many refineries are in the pipeline already? Edo State has a refinery. And all these are going to buy crude, and they're going to sell these things to us and to others. So they are going to put their price on as business.
It will be possible if we stop this thing.
Cost and production will go. So if you look at all the costs and productions, you now come with a fair price. So the market forces will have to determine, not government.
You see,
and if you are going to,
when you said we can stop when we start stealing, you see, even oil marketers that are in that land, the indigenous don't even believe that refinery is refining.
That's another story entirely again.
Because they believe that if we're still importing, so this oil marketers, some of them believe that they are still importing petrol, and they think it's even cheaper for them. So when you are bringing this, are you telling us categorically that the fuel prices will reduce? That's what they want to know. Are you telling us categorically that it will reduce?
And if we don't reduce, if you don't reduce it, and you want to maintain whatsoever status quo, let the earning power of the common man level up.
That's where I think
it's very important.
That's where I think in the long run, the things will level up. So the income too will shift its base and come to a normal level that will benefit Nigeria, and this will not be
because if you don't
best economy. Why am I saying this? Sorry, why am I saying this? If you go and check back in history, you discover that look, every successive government from the day one of Nigeria has always increased the price of fuel based on the international market price. So the price has been going up and up and up and up and up and up. But now you now say, okay, you have a private refinery in your country. You also have a federal government refinery running, which is one of itself. You still have other refineries coming up. If others too start producing, the market is large in West Africa, in Nigeria, in Africa. So you'll see NNPC also too looking for outside market. Why? To bring in money for Nigerians, for the Nigerian government, for the Nigerian people. So to get a lesser price from government, I think will be difficult.
If I don't want it, that is why I say I don't want it to be difficult. Say it's very important. And that is why even if it's going to be difficult, let's level up. Okay, if you for you to make sure that these things level up, stop all the stealing and ensure that the people that are stealing, they are persecuted. Take for instance, I witnessed a situation in the filling station, and I was so can Nigerians be doing this?
No, we hurt ourselves by
ourselves. Very funny.
We do it. No,
the person that wants to, I took a vehicle there, bought fuel, then parked somewhere, and went back to use the POS. While I was trying to use the POS, somebody else was about to buy. Where I bought, the lady has sold about 5,000 already. Okay. And the person that wants to buy wind up is inside the vehicle. Wants to buy.
Chilling.
And this woman, this attendant, did not rob this thing, just continued from where I stopped and continued selling for the man. And the man didn't notice. And he sold, I think, about 15,000 there, about extra. So he calculated both my money and his own. I still collected my money on the ATM.
Bring that scenario into NNPC refinery Port-Harcourt.
Okay.
Now let Nigerians operate like that. So what would you get in the long run?
That is
another broken down refinery. So what I'm saying is that look, for this, if you notice, you see that the NNPC guy said they are looking for those they want to concession the refineries too, so that they can really get their money value, market price. See. I would not subscribe to it that the price should go down. I just want a normal price that will balance our economy. I don't want our economy being shocked, being padded again. So that we can plan 2,300 years from now with our economy.
Level up. Level up.
So we can
very important.
In my lifetime, I've experienced enough increment that has shattered pension, shattered savings, shattered hope.
Currently shattering. Serious ones, shattering everything.
Its hopes are dying based on the fact that look, every time you wake up, the transport is going up. Your money you have in the bank for your pension
we draw 20,000 in the morning before night is over.
So we need to let the market force. So if the market force is determining this thing, then I can go back and say, okay, and the next 20 years there can be increments because I know the market forces. I can study it. But now. Just wake up one day and somebody has increased.
So now with all this, you think that NLPC should ensure transparency? Because I think people want to know, they want to see, they want to understand where they are going with this. Do you think that they should enforce transparency?
As far as I'm concerned, the NLPCL over the years has never proven to a very great extent that level of transparency that Nigerians, and they are already known for that. Many Nigerians knows that. What is the fact about some of these things? But the reality still remains that we keep living like this until the right person comes to the right place and they decide to do the right thing. We will never leave that level.
So for me, I would say transparency is relative. What do we want to know as a people? Do we really want to listen? When they are speaking, can we hear? Can we make inference about like this is what it is, this is what it is, and this is what is not there, what is what is not? So we were holding them accountable for shifting ground when they say it will be October, it will be August. But thank God now it has come to this. But again, he needs to explain why the delay.
Yeah.
Why did I stay? Who
caused it? What is the sanction that has been made to some persons?
So that is the transparency level Nigerians want to see their leaders show. Yeah. That look, when you so that everybody can be accountable. That look, you are given a duty to manifest. So please manifest well. So why you're not doing it well, please pay up. Please.
Look at the FOI. Who look at the FOI law? Is there? How many of these organizations, parastatals, is allowing that to function? Go to the House of Assembly, go to the state government, and tell them this is one of the information that I need right now about so thing in your. They will keep posting you from here this day to another day to another day to another day. I will send it to you. You will never see it till Jesus come.
Nigeria, our country. We just hope for better. We can only hope for better. Quickly, guys, let's move on to the second story. So, something interesting happened on November 27th. I like to say it was interesting because a lot of drama happened in there. So, Justice Marian Anene of the Federal Capital Territory High Court in Abuja ordered the remand of Yahaya Bello, a former governor of Kogi State, in EFCC custody. Now, the EFCC accuses Bello and 2 others of misappropriating over 110 billion naira of Kogi State funds. Every time I call this money, it's my
0.4 billion naira, please. Yeah.
Including using public funds to acquire luxury properties, transferring over $1.1 million abroad, and diverting 677.8 million naira through Bespoke Business Solution Limited. Now, I just want to stop here. Like I said, when I mentioned these monies, something like my body used to shake.
16 charges.
Did you get
this
it?
is Nigeria.
Counts. And he pleaded not guilty.
This is Nigeria.
Every person until proven greater, you are.
You know the interesting part of it that made me so well at this point saying, okay, at least we are doing some, we are getting somewhere. Anyway, the EFCC chairman has vowed some months back that he either leaves or he means this particular very he is determined to go ahead with this case. Yes. Now the reality also has pointed towards that. Some of these governors, we need serious help. You can't imagine. Yes, we can't determine if he has done it or he has not. But again, like they say, no smoke without fire. We remember some time ago it was stated that a particular amount was paid for his children's school fees. Like he was dying tomorrow. As in, they have not been admitted. And he has paid those fees. Now, and the school admitted it. So that one is no longer that they are. It's not news. It's true. Okay. Now, but where the fund came from is also another channel. So what I am kind of concerned about is that, or what I'm saying now is that, fine, we have gotten to the level where he was remanded, and this is why he was running in the first place. He doesn't want to be remanded. Yeah. Now, fine that he has been remanded. Now, I want to see a situation whereby the fate that is happening to Nnamdi Kanu, they don't now say because it becomes a governor that is involved, they now decide to now take that particular matter and now fling it and now say, okay, discharged and acquitted. Please, they should follow this particular matter to a logical conclusion.
So what?
That's why I say that will be
and it's because it's not China. I know one thing. It's because it's not China.
Or a symbolic gesture.
Yes.
I asked that question. I asked myself.
This is it.
A symbolic gesture.
Reminding at every point when such cases arise, I always tell myself that look, everybody must play his or her role right in the country.
Yes.
The EFCC must be sure of what
their charges is. Yes.
Don't come and play to the gallery of the people. Don't do this bombard. Somebody was saying this man.
Don't winch on.
EFCC ought to have known long ago and stop this deal even before it got to this level. But again, probably because of the way we are so smart and we are smarter ourselves in every deal. And
don't forget the EFCC man that is there that is new.
So let's give him a leverage and hope that he can prosecute appropriately, because it's going to be evidence against evidence. It's going to be proof against proof. And the judge will sit down and listen. So if the EFCC does not go through, they may lose this case. You know why I'm okay. You know why I'm so okay with the way the whole thing is going is that Yahaya Bello is the APC man. The EFCC man was appointed by APC government. So I think the government, the president, the federal government is not influencing it at this point. Okay. I have that belief, that strong belief now that the federal government is not influencing it. That say, oh, hello EFCC chairman, drop this charge. If not, we'll sack you. There's nothing like that now. So it shows that
the President Bola Tinubu is allowing.
He wants to influence it. He can influence it with the way these people mean.
Yes, he can. He can. Yes, he can influence it. From what we have seen in the past, he can. Now the reality is that he will just tell them to withdraw the charges, and there's nothing. Our cry and our noise here we do.
You delay the you withdraw the charges, or you delay the proceedings. Very,
and after a long time, Nigerians, you know us now, we forget and we move on. And he has the governor that is currently there now is his man. That one will not press charges.
My surprise in those charges is like going to buy an apartment at the community building at the Kaji by Khalifa with over $106 million.
Where people are still calculating. So, and don't forget what is happening in that state.
Can you hold on, please? So why don't we say you gather that money and build a Burj Khalifa in your own country?
No. They don't think like that. That's it. They don't think. Most of them, they know what is happening overseas. They know what they can replicate. That's why and that's why I'm happy with all these
former VPs will go and.
That is why I'm happy with what is happening in Lagos and Oyo State. That's why I'm happy with what is happening in those two states. Why am I saying that? Look at the structure of intercity structuring, where you have a kind of terminals there. These are some things that also happen there. So the governor of Oyo State is also replicating that. The governor of Lagos State is also replicating. So the importance is that when you travel out, and come back, replicate these things in your state.
That's exactly what you're supposed to do.
But look at what is happening in the same Kogi. Civil servants
take money.
Their salaries.
Your state.
Terrible.
In Kogi State, 10 billion naira. Outside your country.
See, transferring over $1.1 million abroad.
Please, if you use this same amount to, like you said, create these things within your country. How good would it have been? I don't just understand.
That's the question. How can governors and politicians be monitored to prevent financial mismanagement?
That is it. Because of this,
the processes are there. The checks and balance, the procure department, the budget department, they are all there. But you see, you just got to look, those that man this institution, they cohabit or cohort, I don't know the grammar to use now, they work in hand, in tandem with the governors and their accountant generals and so on and so forth to do mismanage funds. And why
they work hand? Why is that happening? It's because our law, we have enough laws to guide these things. But the reality remains that some of these persons in those offices don't have that power, constitutional power, to say no against their bosses. Again, because they put them in the office. The reality remains even this same government put them there. Take for instance a permanent secretary that is told that, come listen, we are getting a particular project, we are doing a particular project, road project, Ministry of Work, and we, of course, according to the Constitution, you as the permanent secretary have to sign $30 billion out for this project. Yes, the governor will approve, but again, the permanent secretary must sign. And the governor said, send this document to the permanent secretary. You should sign this thing within 24 hours. He gets there and the permanent secretary said, no, I'm not going to sign this. And he said, no, I'm not going to sign this. What do you expect next? They will sack him. Yeah. And when they sack him, and a lot of persons, because of our structure in Nigeria, if they sack you with that condition, you are finished, because they will still insult you. They will go after you because you already have their secrets. They can even kill you in the course of it because you already know what they want to do. And you cannot say, I have resigned because the governor said. So everybody is trying to keep his cool, not risking his own life. At the same time, he wants to also make some money too. You see where the corruption is coming. So they will definitely work with the governors. So
the entire system is.
And our what is it called? Immunity for the governors has also shielded them from being checked by these same commissions that we are talking about, EFCC and all that. So if you are checking them, you cannot do anything to them at that present time until they leave office. Which, of course, I believe what has is what has happened to Yahaya Bello. That's because after his office, the immunity has expired.
So this is it for all of us.
Yearly or monthly, there should be checks.
This is it for all of us. Now, if I can afford a house, an apartment at ease, I can afford my 3 square meter without begging anybody. It's my salary, and the economy is so balanced, so buoyant for everybody to operate. Even the phone attendant can operate in that economy and be happy. So, do you think anybody will entice with money? Do you think anybody will bribe you and you want to give in? But because we are all scared of our tomorrow, we don't know what the economy will bring. So everybody's trying to shore up money. Even the civil servant that is praying for pension knows for sure that, look, at the end of the day, his pension will not take him anywhere. So he wants more money. He wants more investment before he leaves the family. So the only way to do it is like cooperate and make money. So if we can try, and that's what I'm saying, the market forces will balance our economy. If you can try and keep it fairly well, and so that everybody has confidence in that economy.
And if we have a situation whereby a lot of things, okay, there's subsidy in a lot of things, like we have the healthcare, education, so people don't necessarily need to spend money, and transportation. You don't necessarily need to have a car before you conveniently move. People will not be bothered with some of these acquisition of life, and these issues will be reduced to a minimum. If I don't need to get a car, what do I need it for? If I actually move from here outside and I'm getting very easy, comfortably without stress, I don't need to stay outside to wait under the sun, hot sun, to wait for and I get a bus that I have AC fitted bus easily to my house. I will not need to stress.
So the fear of poverty that has been weaponized is actually what is making many of these people to cooperate in corruption.
That's why I say, is it that financial incentives, people prefer financial incentives more than democratic values? Because at the end of the day, you will
so you now ask
but they will now ask you, who democratic value
help? We help.
Who help?
So we help. So
and this is question. When there's hunger, because the person that you are telling the democratic value, and right in his house, the children, 3 children, they are already malnourished. The wife is already using condom.
And he has no hope.
Condom to chase him out.
He has no hope.
Say, come go and look for money. Are you saying it's easy to say than to practicalize? The only way you can practicalize some of these things is to ensure that your integrity is in place as a person. So you don't compromise your integrity, which is very, very sacrosanct and important.
So to keep your integrity, we need to keep an integrity economy. We need to keep an economy we can all rely on that. Look, if I have saved my pension, when I go back after that, my pension is enough for me to live my life.
And don't forget what these pension companies still do. A lot of issues, because after even you retire, before they release the money, if I start
a business, there is hope that I can make money. If I make my losses, I can still survive. So we need to have the perfect. Those who are in business, they don't have pension. They live on the benefit of that. They know the market economy. So because they understand the market economy, okay, I will buy this, I'll sell at this, and I'll make my profit. So let's have that kind of a good economy. The only thing the government will be doing at level is okay, just regulate, check when it's going up, you infuse, you put the MPC, MPR, and you put the ratio rate for interest rate and balance the economy for everybody. We can live like that. We need proper planners. We need those who can think, who can reform the system, reform the tax, reform the businesses.
Soon we have to effect it. We have to effect it, and it has to be as quick as possible.
If you ask me, I'll say we are on the course. But on this course, it's painful. It's hurting. People are crying.
We have been on the course for so many years.
No, those courses were not the real course. They've removed.
Now we have the real course.
Now we have the real course.
I just think it's a tad bit unfortunate that you put these people in power, they come and promise you heaven and earth, and when they are promising you with all these campaigns, you see how this man knows what he's saying, this man, they get into power, and when they come and they kind of funds they siphon, you're just like,
and they will tell you that what they have seen, oh no, we have just gotten into the office, what we met is different from what we expected. And so you begin to say, wow, you didn't know you will see this when you get there. That is what is on it
for you.
But when they now leave there, the EFCC will now go after them and now realize that what you met is more than what you expected. But you again stole what you are not supposed to steal. You stole what
and it just gets worse.
Gets worse.
Oh my God. In fact.
At least out of all the governors, you can count the number of governors that will not have issues.
And it was now the drama for me in court. I mean, that was my highlight. That chaos that erupted, and the justice got angry and walked out. And the man with his captain went into the crowd as the savior. Stopped the crowd, told them go out. Then he sat by the door.
That's the script.
Wow.
Not drama.
Honestly,
don't expect.
That's the script.
But of course, at the end of the day, we just say justice must be served. I mean, these people must be held accountable for everything that they do, and justice just has to be served. It's enough. And let us take the last story. So, on November 27, 2024, President Bola Tinubu departed Abuja for a 3-day state visit to France at the invitation of French President Emmanuel Macron. Now, upon getting back, reports have it that President Tinubu is preparing to transmit a list of ambassadorial nominees to the Senate for screening and confirmation. Now, the nominees will serve as Nigeria's ambassadors and high commissioners to various countries and multilateral organizations. Now, this move follows the recall of 83 ambassadors in September 2023, leaving these diplomatic positions vacant for over a year. Mr. Lee, do you think that the recall of 83 ambassadors in 2023 and the subsequent delay in replacement affected Nigeria's influence in multilateral politics?
No. I should not say that. There are other ranking officers at every embassies and commissions. So work is good. See, our relationship is intact. It's going on well. We have like 4 before the ambassador or after the ambassador. We have like 5 senior layers. So we are not missing anything. We are not missing the policies and everything. The man he went to France now. Yeah. We don't have an ambassador to France, but he's going to go there. There are commissioners. There are deputy ambassadors there. Oh, the work is going on. They are doing their best. And see, for me, I think he's just trying to look at the books properly and say, okay, who will carry the torch the way we want? Appropriately. You don't need to, because again, you need capable hands, intelligent people who understand what you want them to preach to the world as a nation. So that's the most. Maybe that's why for the past 18 months he has delayed. But again, at least we now know that by December he will submit the final. You know, I think it takes time for him to scrutinize these people very well, or maybe influences and other influences. He's a political appointment also.
Even special advisor Bayon said it's always an extensive process.
So I think maybe that's why it's taking that much time.
How do you, Mr. Daniel, sorry, I called you. How do you think that transparency is important in these ambassadorial roles, in choosing them? I mean, the public want to know. They want to ensure that, yes, and because the president wants the public to know that he's with us and for us, as he has been showing us. So how important do you think transparency is in choosing these ambassadors?
I think the president is the Jagaban. As the Jagaban, he has most times he has that power to determine if he wants to be transparent with this process or not, because of course, again, it's his government. Whosoever he appoints, if the person gets there and fumble, we will call him. We will not call the person. So it's very important, just like he appointed the ministers, to do the right thing. And I know the president, as somebody that has been, of course, he has been within the system for a very long time, and I know he's going to do his best to choose the right person. But again, we must also urge him that, Mr. President, these persons are going there to represent Nigeria, and we have already taken a long time, which of course is long overdue.
You know why I think he's not afraid is that because you have capable hands. You have permanent staff, permanent workers of those. To take, for instance, now, the currently I learned that if you want to have your national passport in the US, you don't need to come back to Nigeria again to do that. So without even the ambassadors, those things have been done between the Minister of Interior or Exterior and the commissions, and they're working so much.
I think it's not only about having capable hands, but not having to appoint people that will go and compromise those capable hands. So this is very important, because you know the boss will always be
because in the first place, I was asking, are they going to give them new mandate? There's already a mandate.
There's a mandate. There's a mandate. The only thing is
those who can carry that
person that
without.
And don't also forget that the person that will be appointed will also be having his own agenda.
No.
So by the time they get there, because we have seen situations whereby somebody is recalled at the end of the day, because he has moved his family, moved everybody there, saying, "Come, I'm not sure I'm going to come back." You know, but they are saying, "Come, listen, you have to come back first." Personal agenda and all that. So the reality, so we have to also know that whoever is going to be chosen will also have his own personal agenda. But we must be careful that we don't have somebody that will go and compromise whatsoever system over there, because the boss, he becomes the boss when he gets there, and those subordinates will now be subjected to do this, don't do this. So when the president is appointing, we want him to also, of course, consider these things.
If you notice the current France trip, if you look at the things the president is going there to do, you will see a lot of things about Nigerian-France business discussion. So you know that even without an ambassador, so there are other
of course
that are working for the country full force.
So if they are working like that, won't we say appointing them is a waste of Nigeria's resources?
You ask me, like, if I were the president, I would say, why appoint when you who's already doing well? So let's go.
He knows why he wants to appoint.
But the reality still remains that he has said that we have other people, and if we have other people, then we should also be conscious. You understand? We should also be conscious that these other people that we have, they are functioning. So why don't we, because of cost of governance, reduce cost by reducing?
If I were the president, I would just put a blank eye and look, let these guys operate for the next 4 years. After that, we'll bring another one. We'll save the country some money,
That's it now. That's just reality, because you know how much you go into it. But now, of course, the necessary thing is that every country has an ambassador.
Yeah, every country has an ambassador.
So Nigeria should also have. We must have.
So we have some comments here today, and I intend to read comments.
Okay.
I mean, we're keeping the hope alive. So we have one from Megan Akingbemi. He says, let's keep hoping for good government in Nigeria. Me and you both. So another person here, Fidelis Ogbaki, says, we should not disturb Nigerians with APC ruling party officials involved in fraud cases and being chased about by EFCC. This is for the simple fact that, I will not say this word out on here, sir. EFCC is something over this.
And people have different opinion about EFCC, but I think EFCC should be able to work themselves right and bring themselves to repute. Just see.
But
I would enjoy. Listen to me. Sorry that I'm trying to interrupt. But I would enjoy whereby somebody is found guilty, doing plea bargain, and after some years you are forgiving him. He's coming back to the Senate, and let him do his course. Let that punishment go through, so that they can serve as a deterrent to others. But when you begin to pardon, and you did sense.
We are forgetting that even in China, once you are still like that, it's said death sentence. So I think we should have a law in Nigeria where if you are found guilty of stealing, death sentence. Kill these people to away, let them go and death sentence.
Is it not too much?
Death sentence. They are killing. Do you know that money that they are stealing? Do you know that money that they are stealing? That money, somebody else would have died. A number of persons would have died somewhere with that money. That same road that you are supposed to commit a particular amount on to fix the project, and somebody there has compromised and reduced the layer of the road. That same road will cause accidents that thousands of people will die.
I remember that Naira period. People were dying.
So I think what should be done is anybody found guilty of financial misconduct, misappropriation, not just a penalty, death sentence. Death penalty. Death sentence. It's the life of people we are talking about.
So somebody else says, talk by Fatwa, she says, keep joking. Greater percentage of Nigerians are not expecting anything different. That's what I said. It's not because we don't want things to change, but it seems like it's the same recurring happenings. You come to the podium, you say the same thing, you move the hearts of Nigerians, they say, okay, they want to see you go, and then at the end of the day, you just dash our hopes.
That's something.
I always ask, what do we want as a country? We want to be like UK.
But they're telling you what they want. They keep telling you what they want.
Hold on. We want to be like UK. Do we want the police in the UK to come and police us appropriately? Are we ready to obey the rules and laws and regulations as those countries? Those guys over there, they obey their laws relatively very well.
How did they get there?
Hold on. So we as a people make up our mind and say we want our rules and regulations to be obeyed. Then we serve at offices, at every junction, at every traffic light, must be able to obey those laws.
Then is also the law. Have you forgotten the situation whereby even the law enforcement officers also help you not to obey the laws?
So that's what I'm saying. So all of us, I'm not talking about, I'm saying everybody
have to be involved.
Must be involved in this change. It's not we all when we demand for good things, let's be ready to give those good things in return.
It's very important. It's very important. Our police, they are working. The military, they are working. All our armed forces, they are working. But again, no matter how, you will still have in the midst of good eggs the bad ones. So they should fish them out.
So if we have 80% doing the right thing, the 20% is mainly the 80% of us will.
When the 80% is doing the right thing.
So when the 80% is doing the wrong thing.
Doing the right thing.
Doing the wrong thing.
Now the right thing. And Nigerians are not even seeing the results. It looks as if you are not even doing
anything.
And that's where we are.
That's
but as usual, we'll say it again. We hope for change.
Amen.
Change.
We hope for change.
No, not the former change, as in the change, real change.
Not the change mantra.
As in not the logo change. The reality change.
I beg. But the change begins with you.
Yes.
I mean, I don't change now. Now make me sit down here they talk.
Thank you so much, Mr. Daniel.
Thank you.
It's always amazing having you guys on set with me. We've had
Thank you.
a wholesome conversation today, and I trust that you guys that tuned in also enjoyed yourself and you left your comments. Great comments, by the way. Thank you so much once again for joining us. You have been watching The Roundtable. My name is Margaret Osazua. Until next time,